What is going on out there, peeps? All right, man, let's go over about some of the things that we talk about on this YouTube channel. Some of the things we talk about, or I should say, I talk about to you, of why you should be careful about where you store your precious metals and stuff. FBI seizes 800 Beverly Hills safe deposit boxes, worth, ready for this? There's $86 million worth of goodies stashed in there. Attorney claims Fed's raid unconstitutional. Now, let me go out on a limb here. How many of you actually believe the feds give a crap? Do you think they give a crap? Given the recent stuff that we've seen over the last few years, whether this is unconstitutional? I'll let you comment real quick. I'm going to give you about a couple seconds. Go down. In your opinion, do you think the FBI gives a crap about your constitutional rights? I'll give you a couple seconds to comment down below. Just put yes or no. That's good. Here we go. We're going to get into this. But before we do, one of the places that you might consider storing your precious metals besides a safety, well, instead of a safe deposit box in the bank, is with Money Metals. Yes, they have their own vault. Not only that, the sheriff's department rents the office in front of the vault. So they have their own built-in security. Unlike a bank, there's no reason for them to be coming over to the vault and raiding it. Okay? So, if you have a lot of precious metals that you're too worried about keeping in your own place, come over to Money Metals and store it there. Speaking of, while you're there, why don't you add some more to your collection? Stacking your stack. That's right, while you're there, add more to your gold and silver stack. For those of you who are interested in buying gold and silver, go over to Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. Buy some gold and silver. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and get a free half ounce of silver. They do have a place for you to stack your silver, and it's segregated, which means you get your own little area, separate from everybody else's stashes. Get my drift? For those of you looking for my address, there it is. I appreciate all the kind things you guys are saying in the letters and a couple of kind gifts that you guys are giving me. I will address those a little bit later on. Thank you. I cannot stress this enough. Over the whole weekend, the reason why I didn't do a lot of videos on YouTube was all the information and talking to other content creators and actually talking to doctors. Yeah, at all hours of butt crack in the morning because they're overseas, asking them and picking at their brain about the stuff that they're letting out, getting information from them sent to us for us to analyze, dealing with the Rona. The stuff we have on this particular platform over here, it's $3 a month, you guys. $3 for the entire month. You can watch every damn video on there in 3 months. But the one you want to get to is the one that says the Rona News. You know what I'm talking about. All right. Besides, anything that you pay for the website, all proceeds go to Finding Life's Purpose Foundation. All right. So it does go to a good cause. Once again, I want to remind everybody to support our brothers and sisters over there at Wall Street Silver. Yes, their YouTube channel and Reddit page, the links are down below in the description. So come on over there and join them and show some support to them. All right, we got Pimpy's Investment Chat, same name as the YouTube channel. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrency, as well as foreign currency investments. But I want to get back over to here something. Look at this. Yeah. Yeah, this was sent to me. Now, I didn't get permission whether to use the person's name, but I just want to show you their stack. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is sexy. This is sexy right here. Now, I can't quite see if these are, they look like 100-ounce bars. I can't tell, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say these are 100-ounce bars. Might be wrong, but 100-ounce bars. Look at that pyramid. You count the bars yourself. Now, that's what I'm talking about stacking. For you people out there, I see people all the time going, Pimpy, look, you know, I had a talk with the family. We agree. We had some extra properties. We sold them, paid off our debt. We have X amount of money. I heard you say that you don't hold money in the bank. You buy gold and silvers. Do you recommend that we do the same with the money we got from the properties? I get that all the time. I cannot give you financial advice. I can only tell you what I did. All my bonds, stocks, IRAs, 401ks, gone. Gone. Cashed it in. Took all my money out of the bank and put them into precious metals. I do keep some money in the bank. I do keep some money in my safe. 6 months worth of utility bills. So add up all your bills. 6 months worth. plus 10% for miscellaneous, because you never know. If you can do a little more, do a little bit more. But every other bit of my money is in the precious metals. I just don't trust what's going on, and I keep those metals in my possession. I have 3 locations that are tabbed, scattered, and hidden. All right? So if something happens on one location, I can go to the other. It's there. All right? Keep it there with your Second Amendment rights sitting in there so you can protect it as well. Okay? It's necessary to have money outside of the system. And this is what I'm talking about. Now, this is sexy. So feel free to send one of those bars over to the address that you see on here. I'm just teasing. Oh, man, that's a sexy pyramid right there. Shout out to Alvin Smith. Alvin sent me this video that I'm going to share with you guys. You've seen the headlines. Yeah, this is unbelievable. And why you shouldn't keep anything within a safety deposit box. Because if something happens to that bank, you are SOL, my friends. So here we go. We're going to listen to this gentleman cover it himself. I did go to the article. I did read it. But this gentleman here covers it just nicely. And we're going to react as he goes along and talks about what happened. All right, here we go.
Which once again made me think that everything we say here about legacy brand countries is true. They are not terrible places to live, not terrible places to invest, but have seen their better days. And this particular...
Sure, they're not. What do you mean? Right now, they're not terrible places to live, but they're slowly but surely turning into little communist countries, including the one country. I thought there's no way on God's green earth this would ever happen to my sweet country of America. But yeah, we have a constitution that's supposed to protect us. The problem is it's only good as the people who are willing to enforce it, which is your politicians, courts, and attorneys. If they are all part of the same corrupt family, you're SOL.
Particular story about asset confiscation from totally presumably innocent people shows how the United States in this particular case is neither entirely a country with rule of law nor an entirely safe place to store your assets. I'm going to share the story with you and give you my thoughts right now. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. I'm the author of the book Nomad Capitalist and the founder of the company Nomad Capitalist, where we help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs and investors legally go where you're treated best.
He might help only 7- and 8-figure people, but Pimpy here helps all figures of people, whether it's in the cents or 8 figures, because trust me, we have 8-figure people that watch this channel that I speak to. So we talk to them as well, but I leave no men, no women, or unbinary, undecided, shims, or either. We help all you. We don't discriminate here. My goal is to help as many people as possible. We are all in the same boat. I do what I can. When I get information, I share it with you so that you can see what's going on and help you to make the right decision when you're dealing with your own investments, retirements, your money, your family, period. So he might be able to help the 7 to 8 figures. I'm helping everybody and then some.
You can learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. So here's the headline that grabbed my attention. I've seen this story in numerous places in the last while, but this particular story comes from Bitcoin.com, and it says, FBI seizes 800 Beverly Hills safety deposit boxes with $86 million. Attorneys claim the Fed's raid is unconstitutional.
Yeah, you wonder how it's unconstitutional? You see, each and every safe deposit box solely and specifically is rented to an individual. So if the cops raid your house and you have rented out a room to another person, they're going to need a separate warrant to go into that person's room. You can't enter it without their permission. That's how it is in California. I can't speak for anywhere else. So if you go into a bank and there's 800 safety deposit box, you can't just arbitrarily on your own start going into each box without a warrant for each one of them.
So according to the article and according to all the news, here's what happened. It says the FBI is under fire for alleged unconstitutional seizure of about 800 safety deposit boxes in Beverly Hills, California.
Yeah, I got to interrupt real quick. Again, down in the comments, I hope you guys responded to this. Is anybody surprised that the FBI is doing something unconstitutional? Is anybody out there shocked? You know what I mean? There shouldn't be no surprise to this. This has been more and more common, especially what we've seen them being involved in, along with the other 17 intelligence agencies, including the Five Eyes Nations, and with MI5 and MI6. You get my drift? So, them violating our constitutional rights, they can give a crap less.
According to reports, the FBI confiscated $86 million in cash, jewelry, thousands of gold and silver bars. Box holders and their lawyers are calling out federal law enforcement for lacking sufficient proof that the boxes held evidence of being tied to a specific crime. So basically what's happening is there was a brouhaha of sorts at this safety deposit box facility in Beverly Hills. It was not part of a bank. It's a private safety deposit box where you can go in without the scrutiny of a bank. You just rent a box the same way you rent a self-storage facility, the same way you rent whatever other place to privately store your stuff. And something with the facility or potentially with some of the box holders was unclear. And there's some money laundering allegation. And so the FBI said, okay, we want to go in and take over the facility. And so the subheadline says, abuse of power. Lawyers believe the FBI seized people's life savings in an unconstitutional manner. Why is that? Well, that's because the FBI seized over 800 safe deposit boxes that were located there at the U.S. private vault store. Reports note that the FBI got an order from a California magistrate to seize the store's business equipment that was ostensibly...
Now, the warrant says seize the business equipment, not the safety boxes. Once again, let me repeat, the warrant given to the FBI was very clear and very specific about what it is they were supposed to go in and get.
Tied to a money laundering case, ostensibly. The order barred the searches of safety deposit boxes, according to LA Times reporter.
What? Wait a minute. What did you say? The warrant barred against the seizures of the safety deposit box. So let me ask that question once again. Is anybody surprised that the FBI violated the constitutional rights of others as well as ignored the specific instructions of the magistrate? When the judge who signed the search warrant specifically told them to grab the equipment only and not to touch the safety deposit box, then what the hell was the FBI doing?
Michael Finnegan. But the FBI didn't follow that, or at least so it is alleged. They went in and actually opened up the safety deposit boxes, 800 boxes that were in the facility. There is $86 million in stuff. I never entirely understand how they add the value of this stuff up. It seems like they just kind of attach random values or inflated values, or perhaps...
Here's what I want to know. Did they just dump the crap all in one bag, or did they separate each one of them, or did they take the boxes out and leave the stuff in the boxes so the numbers associated with the items in the box so that the owners can come back and claim them? Because it seemed to me the FBI is so corrupt, what they would do is mix all the crap in one box or in one bag and then have you come in and file a claim for what you believed was in there. But if you're one of these people that just cram it full of crap and really don't keep inventory, then you're SOL. So what did they do?
Deflated values in some cases to this stuff, but according to the article, $86 million in stuff. Very simply, the order signed by U.S. Magistrate Steve Kim clearly says this warrant does not authorize a criminal search or seizure of the contents of the safety deposit box.
Again, let's make this perfectly clear. The search warrant signed by the judge is very clear and specific to the corrupt FBI. Do not touch the safety deposit box. This is why you can't just go, Pimpy, look, man, I got my stuff in the safety deposit box. It must be safe. Oh, really? And I bet you all those people who put in their $86 million worth of assets were like, no problem. It's safe here in this bank. Nobody would touch my stuff. I bet you they were thinking the same thing.
And so the article continues how the owners of the safety deposit boxes and their attorneys believe the FBI has done them wrong. To date, 11 lawsuits have been filed by the safety deposit box holders against the federal agency. Lawyers representing a large number of these people say that the federal agency did not obtain a standard issued warrant that notes probable cause and believe that the FBI broke standard protocol.
It does. You have to have a search warrant for each and every single one of those safety deposit boxes. Again, the FBI violating your rights and pissing all over your constitutional rights.
So basically what they're saying is the government can take your stuff without evidence in the hopes that you're going to get it later. That's actually what one of the lawyers told the LA Times. They can take your stuff and you can hope to get it back later.
We know what's going to happen. You know and I know. So to take your crap, right? You go to claim it. Can you imagine? This is how it's going to be. You walk in the office with your lawyer. Yeah, you guys went into bank so-and-so. You guys seized 800 safety deposit box in which my client owns one of them. Well, okay. What did you have in your safe deposit box? About $600,000 worth of cash. Really? Was this cash reported on your taxes? Where did the $600,000 come from? Why do you have $600,000 hidden in your safe deposit box? Do you understand how they're going to put you through when you go to claim what's rightfully yours? If you're a criminal and you stuck it in there, good luck on getting it back, because you're going to have to go through hell to get it back. You're going to have to explain what items are yours, why you have it in there that high of amount, which I say it's none of their damn business. In other words, they're going to give you the third degree. They're going to make it as hard as possible for you to get it back. There's no doubt about it. In other words, still crapping over your constitutional rights.
Now, why is this so important? Because one of the things that we hear when we talk about legacy brand countries, and I'm not here just to pick on the U.S., there are a lot of Western legacy brand countries, and we call them legacy brand because they were once great, and they once...
Once great. We were once great. Once great. We had a gentleman that was trying to make America great again, but that changed. In 6 months, we were great again to, not so great again.
Did things that were, they were held to the highest standards. They were the ideal standard. But like so many things, they have degraded over time. Like so many families that were once great, people did great things, started great companies, and eventually you end up with some trust fund kid.
No. Don't compare us to trust fund kids. We have a country that lived by a living document that's over 230 or some sort, 230, 240 years old, a living document called the U.S. Constitution. We followed that, and that's what made us, outside the fact that we were a God-loving country at one time. Between God and the Constitution and the blood, sweat, and tears of American fighting men and women that made sure that we stayed the way we are and protected our traditional culture, our traditions and cultures, is what made us great. Because we got infiltrated. Good Lord, man.
4 generations later, legacy brands have degraded, but the brand remains the same. The brand is there. And so how many people around the world are, especially from emerging countries that we talk about going to and trusting with part of your assets or investing in, how many people from those countries go to, for example, Beverly Hills? It's a commonly discussed place, well-known place, of course, one of the most well-known...
No, usually everything is dumped into Switzerland.
...places in not only the U.S.
or the Caribbean,
but in the world.
Or Ireland.
And so if someone's going to the United States from Asia, for example, they very well may fly to Los Angeles, and they very well may go, if they have the kind of stuff to store, to Beverly Hills, to a private vault facility like this. Perhaps they can't get a bank account, or they don't want to get a bank account, or they're not allowed under their country's rules to have a bank account, so they go to a private facility to store things like gold bars, a crypto ledger, whatever it may be. And they imagine, hey, this is the United States, I'm going to get my stuff back. This is the same conversation I have with people that I'm talking to who are from the U.S.
This is a private bank, for those who don't know. Okay? So it's a bank, but it's private. It's not open to the public. So what he's saying is right. For those that don't want to open it, in other words, it's like our own little mini Switzerland. So those banks exist for high-end clients that want to store things away, as well as do banking there. It's not open to the public. It's a private bank.
U.S. and maybe they have their own gold bars stored at home. And when they want to move overseas, they say, well, I'll leave this stuff here in the U.S. What's the risk? At the same time that they're telling me, hey, I've got serious concerns about the direction in which the U.S. is going. And so, quite frankly, I think you've seen a lot of people in the last year and a half wake up to just the direction that we've been talking about the Western world has been going for the last decade. We've been talking about it for the last decade. It's been slowly degrading for decades. And so the idea that you're going to go and put your stuff in a Beverly Hills safe deposit box, thinking, oh, it's totally safe, what could possibly happen? I'm not a criminal. Well, apparently...
That's what your neighbor says, but you're sitting there going, no, dude, go to Money Metals. They have their own vault. Don't go to Beverly Hills. And your neighbor's looking at you like, ha, 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 silly rabbit. I'm going to my U.S. bank holdings. You're like, man, I'm warning you. Next day, this is an article. You're looking at him. You say, yeah, dude, I told you, bro. Should have took your stuff over to Money Metals. Yeah, you should have.
Well, you don't have to be a criminal for them to come and take your stuff. We've
Exactly.
seen it in the U.S. with civil forfeiture laws, where people just driving down the street with cash to buy something can have their cash seized, and then the government basically starts a lawsuit. The government versus $52,000 in U.S. currency. You've seen business owners who collect money in cash, like restaurants or food trucks, have their money confiscated. That may not apply to a 7 or 8 figure entrepreneur in many cases. You may not be carrying around cash to buy a car. You pay through some other means. But this is something that very well could apply to 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs. And so, at a certain point...
Did you say could apply to 7 or 8 figure entrepreneurs? Come on, Ginger. Didn't you just say they confiscated $86 million out of 800 safety deposit box, including gold and silver and fake fiat currency? I'm going to go out on a limb there and say that, yeah, it does include 7 and 8 figure people.
If you have millions of dollars in gold, you're probably not going to keep that in your home.
Yeah, because if you have if you have millions of dollars worth of gold and silver, well, that means you can afford a pretty good damn safe or even have a vault built into your house, which is something you should consider. Now, I get it when people have hundreds of thousands of dollars and they're like, yeah, I don't want to fork out hundreds of thousands of dollars for a vault, but you might get a pretty good safe and get a secret room built into your house. That's something you could do. My guess is that you live in a pretty decent neighborhood. You're not going to be living in the hood having, several hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gold and silver. Now, there are some of us out there that got tens of thousands, maybe even as much as around $300,000 in gold or silver, and we still don't live in what you might call a pristine neighborhood. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's not like you have a sign outside your home going, check this out. I got, a few $100,000 worth of gold or silver in my house. It's something that you should know, only you should know, and this should be private. It should be put in a place that only you are aware of so that it's hidden. You don't want to go around making announcements and stuff like that. Just throwing that out there. But if you're still like, man, still Pimpy, man, that's too much. I'm nervous every day. I'm at work wondering if anybody's breaking into my house. What the hell's going on? Is my ex in there stealing my money? They could do that. I go, yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. It's happened to me. So I get where you're coming from. That's why I go to Money Metals. They have a vault there, a segregated vault. So your stuff's kept separate from everybody else's. Yeah, something you should think about. Several of my subscribers own segregated boxes over with Money Metals.
Probably not going to keep that even in multiple homes. If you're following my trifecta strategy of living all around the world, you're going to want to store those assets in some kind of vault.
Yeah, well, not a vault. Different locations, hidden very carefully.
The reason I've said that I want my assets held outside of legacy brand countries, whether it's the US, Canada, the UK, even New Zealand. I'm a little bit less particular about New Zealand, but quite frankly, wouldn't store stuff there. All these Western countries, Five Eyes countries, whatever you want to call them, have demonstrated that when it really comes down to it, they don't have the level of rule of law that you think. And the word...
No, they don't. Speaking of Five Eyes, I do believe they joined our 17 intelligence agencies to try to screw over our 45th president. Just throwing that out there.
Unconstitutional here says everything. So many people are clinging to the U.S. Constitution as if that means that every politician must follow it, everyone in law enforcement must follow it, every judge must follow it. Well, in this case...
Time out there, Ginger. First and foremost, it's not as if we think they should. They're obligated obligated. That doesn't mean they do it, but when you sit there and go, you think, no, it does not think. You're right. We made the mistake of assuming they do what they're supposed to do, which is uphold the Constitution. We're starting to learn the hard way that that's not the case. But the point being, the Constitution is there for a reason, and it's not like they have options. No, they don't. Our politicians, our judges, the lawyers, and law enforcement do not have an option to violate the Constitution. They create the option to violate our Constitution. Two separate things.
Perhaps the judge or the magistrate did, but the law enforcement didn't. And so what's the value of having a constitution? What's the value of having a rule of law and having this facade if it doesn't really exist?
He does make a good point. But that's where we, the people, come in and go, yeah, we are tired of what's going on. And according to our Constitution, we have the right to divorce the current government, abolish it, and establish a new one. That's the great thing about the Constitution.
All the time. That was the idea of the legacy brand countries was, hey, we don't do things selectively like those banana republics. You can trust us because we always follow our own rules. They make the rules, but now they can't even follow them.
Yep.
And so the judge said, hey, don't take these people's stuff. The government said, we'll take it and we'll make you sue us to come and get it back. Now, here's what I can tell you, having invested in some of those so-called banana republics over the years, the emerging world countries that people even here on this channel have made fun of me for. You know what I do? Every month or every quarter or every year, I get my dividend payment, I get my rent payment, I get whatever. I pay my tiny amount of property tax. I carry...
Am I the only one that thought, man, this guy just really sounds arrogant? I pay my tiny little amount of property tax, takes a big sniff, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, whoa, so arrogant.
on with my life, very simply. It does not make a big impact in my life. Meanwhile, when I went through the process of owning and later selling 2 investment properties in the United States, it was a nightmare. It was so many different things to do.
I was wondering why he was calling it the magistrate. He's obviously not in America or the United States.
I get a letter once about how my grass was an inch too high and I was like a violation, like, criminal violation was splashed on the front. And then the lawyer's like, it's not even really a criminal violation. They just want to get your attention. And, that's what it's like investing in these kinds of countries. That's what it's like storing your assets in these kinds of countries.
How many of you are wondering where the hell this guy is? Seriously, I want to know where he's at.
People are fed up with banks, for example, in legacy brand countries where they can't even access their own money. And now when you put your money outside of the bank, it can be hard to access because the government is no longer following its own laws. It's no longer even enforcing its own constitution.
True.
So if you are hanging around, you and or your money, in a country like the United States because you believe that the Constitution is infallible and that will protect you no matter what, realize it's only as infallible as the people who are there defending.
Okay, a couple of things. This guy's pissing me off because he's correct. Second of all, you got to love that little banner that went across there that says, proof that your country doesn't care about you. So I've been warning you guys about banks, doing the bail-in. I know several subscribers that reached out to me and said, Pimpy, check this out. I went to go get a large amount of my money out of my bank account so I could buy some gold and silver, and they refused. They refused to give it to you. I was like, yeah, that's where we're at now. Oh, yeah. Best thing you can do is a wire transfer. Don't try to go in there and get the cash. Do a wire transfer, see if they'll let you do a cashier's check, something like that, to get your medals that way. But yeah, I know, I'm aware. Again, I told my friend, he's got a ton of money. I said jokingly, just try to get out 50 grand, because he can. He said they wouldn't let him. I was like, what'd you say? He was pissed. He said they wouldn't even let him out of there. He said that they're restricted to the amount of money they can let out per day. I was like, but you have... all your money is in there. Listen, I told him, hypothetically, let's think about this, because he has millions. And I said, let's say you wanted to get all your money out of there. Did you bring that up to him? What happens if I want to close my account here and go somewhere else? He said, I didn't ask. So I told him to go ask. He came back later on. He said that he would have to set up an appointment and try to arrange to have the money transferred to the new location that he couldn't get the money. I was like, wow. Wow, it's your money. No, it's not. Think about it. When you guys deposit your money into the bank account, it tells you as clear as day that once your money goes into the bank, the money no longer belongs to you. it belongs to the bank. They set the rules on what they could do with your money. It's the truth. Go Google it. Go ask your bank. Find out. Some of you guys have those restrictions. So what he's saying is the truth. And when you sit around thinking the Constitution is going to protect you, I want to believe that we can get back there. But right now, we see these people crapping all over our Constitution. We have damn communists in our government. Never in my lifetime. As a person who grew up in the 70s and the 80s, watching, Red Dawn and all the anti-Russian movies growing up, I never thought for any part of my life that I would see open members of communists in our government. What the F is going on?
Defending it. The government has no interest in defending it when they can take $86 million in stuff and hope to keep it without a fight, knowing that they have unlimited resources and you, even if you're the kind of person with gold and silver bars stored in Beverly Hills, probably doesn't. It's hard to fight the U.S. government in that regard in a fair way. So understand, you can go to Singapore.
That's why, if you have that much, guess what you can do? Keep it with money metals. That's right. They have their own vault, your own segregated vault. In addition to that, if you're uncomfortable keeping it there and you have that kind of money, have a damn vault or safe brought to your house. I keep mine with me. I don't trust the banks. I don't trust my government at all. So that's all I wanted to show you is, look, this guy's right. For those of you thinking, yeah, Pimpy, I keep mine in a bank safe deposit box. I feel comfortable with that. Really? Do you? Because so did these people. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm trying to inform you so you can make sound decisions. If you are concerned, I suggest you reach out to Money Metals, 800-800-1865. Look at this. They have secure storages, state-of-the-art depository to store your gold and silver, fully segregated, which means you get your own little spot, your own little box, just like you do in the bank, except for there's nobody raiding these people. It's safe here. And you have this sheriff renting out the office in front of this bad boy. Just throwing it out there. All right? So either keep it with you or keep it at the storage facility with Money Metals. It's safer than in a damn bank. Stop trusting the banks. Because this can be you. Not only that, this is Beverly Hills. You know how people go, well, it's Beverly Hills. You're famous and I'm rich and I'm powerful. Yeah, but you still got screwed. Where's your money? It's gone. Go get it. Good luck. Where's yours? With me. I don't have to worry about this. So I bring this to your attention to show you that, look, banks are not secure. If your money is in the bank, I got a bunch of info that somebody sent to me on Canada doing bail-ins. Yeah, I warned you, states are starting to do that. By the way, Cuba did it as well. So the governments are taking people's money out of their bank accounts. You know how they're going to try to say, well, we'll give it back to you. But wait, we'll give it back to you in our 100% digital CBDC. That's the only way you can get it back. You don't have a say-so. Don't be surprised if that comes up. And don't forget, I warned you. And again, have money outside of the system. You really do. I'm trying to help protect you. Your retirement, your savings, your wealth. You need to keep it protected in gold and silver. Keep it with yourself. So then you have nobody to blame but yourself. But at least if it's with you, you know it's with you and there's nobody else responsible for it. But if not, Money Metals does have a secure, segregated vault for you. They can hold it for you. Not only that, if you store your metals with them, man, they have some great deals. If you need to get a loan real quick and you want to talk about super, super low interest rates, because you can use your gold and silver as collateral. So it's not like they're going to go, oh, no, you can't get a loan because your credit's bad. No, you have your gold and silver that's already with them. So you could get a really inexpensive loan through them. Some of you guys don't know about that. You can look into that. I'm telling you. All right. Anyways, I just want to bring this to your attention. Thanks to Alvin for bringing it to mind so that I can share this with you. That's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so. Because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I truly do appreciate when you do that. I'll catch you later. I'm out.